The Aquachanger 240 from Lepa is designed to complement your CPU overclocks with superior thermal dissipation and performance. Dual convex blades on the 120mm fans deliver high-volume airflow at low noise, and the protrusive copper plate deploys more coolant for efficient CPU hotspot elimination. Click the link in the description to find out more. What's up guys, today I'm taking a look at one of the largest and most powerful laptops you can get your hands on, assuming your hands are big enough. This is the GT80 Titan SLI from MSI, which targets a very specific niche of gamer looking for uncompromised performance in the form of a portable laptop. And I'll touch on that later, but jumping right in, MSI offers this behemoth in several different hardware configurations at varying price points. The one I have here is rocking a Core i7-4720HQ, two GTX 970M GPUs in SLI, each of them packing a 6GB frame buffer, 16GB of RAM at 1600MHz, two 128GB M.2 SATA SSDs in RAID 0, and a 1TB hard drive. In case you thought that these jaw-dropping specs and a steep price of about $2,800 indicate that this is MSI's flagship offering, think again, because they have a model with even better hardware in just about every area that goes for a whopping $3,700. But don't worry, if you feel like a peasant for having a sub $3,000 laptop that already outperforms most people's desktops, the GT80 Titan SLI allows for easy expansion and upgradability options for your storage, memory, and even GPUs. That's right, an attractive proprietary design lets you swap out your existing GPUs for even better ones. Although these exclusive modules will cost you a sizable premium, the rush you'll get from spending so much money at once will be priceless. In the off chance that you're not already hell-bent on pulling the trigger on one of these bad boys, the included mousepad, wrist rest, and metal keycaps will certainly turn you around, because nothing says worth it like commonplace accessories. Still not convinced? A massive complimentary backpack lets you travel freely with the laptop and comes with a free voucher for a chiropractor of your choice. Alright, I think I've given MSI a hard enough time for one video. But the fact of the matter is that this laptop is just so over the top that it's almost comical, and I just couldn't help but poke fun at it a little. So, now that I got it all out of my system, let's talk about the rest of the laptop, starting with the portability factor, which there is none. At 18 inches long by 13 inches deep by 2 inches thick, approximately, you'd be hard-pressed to use this 10-pound machine without ample desk space, an off-putting stipulation for those in need of a reasonably portable gaming solution. Fortunately, the Titan's gargantuan footprint isn't completely without purpose. From first glance, you probably noticed the Titan lacks a conventional chiclet-style keyboard. Instead, MSI has teamed up with SteelSeries to integrate a full Cherry MX keyboard with brown switches into the laptop, an industry first. This isn't just some kind of watered-down version of a mech board either. It types and feels just like any other, and you get those familiar cross-shaped switches so you can easily swap out the keycaps for third-party alternatives if you're looking to do some customization. The red LED backlit keys can be disabled or set to 3 varying levels of brightness, though some users might find even the dimmest setting a bit excessive in low-light environments. To the right of the keyboard is a touchpad which can be a bit awkward to use due to its narrow profile, and the physical left and right click buttons feel a bit on the cheap side. Interestingly enough, the touchpad also doubles as a 10-key numpad, which works surprisingly well. However, the two functions can't be used simultaneously, which makes heavy number crunching impractical without having a connected mouse. Just above the touchpad you get a few different buttons that do a few different things. Aside from good old power, the GPU button allows you to switch between the laptop's discrete and integrated GPU, whether you're trying to increase gaming performance or minimize power consumption. The last button boosts the RPM of your laptop fans for those hot and heavy gaming sessions, though I'd only recommend using this feature when at the airport, as nearby jet engines are the only sure way to drown out the sound of the overbearing fans. At the top of the base you'll find Dynaudio premium speakers, which are driven by a Creative Sound Blaster Cinema 2 sound chip. There's also a bottom-mounted subwoofer, which we'll see in a moment. While these speakers are capable of getting freakishly loud, they sound about the same as any other high-end laptop speakers, with noticeable tinniness despite the bottom subwoofer. At the north end of the laptop you get a 1080p webcam that stands above an 18.4-inch 1920 by 1080 display. Wait, what? Hold on a sec. So this laptop has enough horsepower to potentially drive games at 4K, yet it has a screen that has the same resolution as my $1,000 laptop sporting a single 860M? I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around this one, because it seems to me that the stellar performance of these two GPUs is now partially wasted on a mainstream resolution. With an SLI configuration and a combined 12GB frame buffer, I'm pretty surprised and admittedly disappointed at the screen's lower pixel density. You would think that since MSI is hailing the GT80 for having a desktop-like upgrade path, that they would have given gamers more incentive to actually upgrade, the ability to play at resolutions beyond 1080 being a big one for most. Of course, lower pixel density means lower power consumption and increased battery life, but seeing as how this laptop is more of a desktop replacement than an on-the-go device, chances are most users will have the laptop plugged into a power source anyway, so the rationale behind this imbalanced hardware configuration is beyond me. But not to dwell on the subject too much, on the left side of the Titan you get mic and headphone jacks, an optical SPDIF out, 3 USB 3 ports, an SD card reader, Blu-ray player, Kensington lock, and side ventilation that's replicated on the right, where you also get 2 additional USB 3 ports. On the back is more ventilation at both ends, 2 mini display ports, an HDMI 1.4, a killer E2200 gigabit Ethernet LAN port, and a DC plug for the biggest power brick you've ever seen in your life. At the front are 3 LED indicators for Wi-Fi, battery life, and hard drive activity, and finally on the bottom is that Dynaudio subwoofer, and 6 slightly elevated rubber feet to allow for healthy exhaust from the bottom ventilation slots. In addition to hardware, the Titan comes with Windows 8.1 pre-installed and more preloaded software than I'd like to see. Naturally, where this laptop really shines is with raw gaming performance. So here in GTA 5 we saw an average frame rate of 54 at very high settings with MSAA disabled. While there's still not quite enough GPU processing power here to max out all of GTA 5's little in-game settings, you can still get a great looking image that runs buttery smooth. Similar performance was seen in Evolve with an average of 51 FPS, but this time around I was able to run at max settings without a hitch. Considering the game's large open maps and abundant wildlife textures, this was especially nice to see. The synthetic benchmark in BioShock Infinite scored a satisfying 119 frames per second on average with diffusion enabled. I even jumped into the actual game to verify that the numbers were accurate, and yes they were. And last of the runs was Battlefield 4, which saw 101 frames per second on Ultra. It's probably no surprise to say that this is the fastest laptop I've had the privilege of working with, and it should be able to chew through pretty much any game you throw at it for years to come. So perhaps by now, as we draw near to the end of this review, we can begin to imagine what type of gamer would be interested in the GT80 Titan SLI. For one, whoever's buying this laptop is living quite comfortably, as the money spent on one of these things is enough to feed a small third world country. 2, the ideal candidate demands the absolute best gaming performance available in a laptop, period. 3, for reasons unbeknownst to you or I, the ideal customer lives a lifestyle where a conventional desktop PC is impractical. Maybe they travel a lot, so much to the point where they're in and out of hotel rooms more than their actual home. He or she would also have to be okay with not using this device on a plane, train, or anywhere else with limited desk space, unless of course they own a private jet or something. And 4, the gamer in question doesn't mind lugging 10 plus pounds of weight around everywhere they go, especially if they have some sort of roadie crew to do the heavy lifting. So if we use these 4 elements to theorize the most likely person in the world to buy this laptop, the results would probably spit out a picture of American actor and director Vin Diesel. While the majority of us fall just outside of that demographic, catering to the social elite could very well be exactly what MSI was going for. After all, the GT80 Titan SLI does pack some extravagant features that put it in a league of its own, even if that league happens to be absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry for that joke. I really am. But let me know what you guys think of this laptop in the comments below, and don't forget to toss me a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Also, feel free to support the channel by picking up an Awesome Sauce shirt in my merch store, or bookmarking my Amazon affiliate link and using it when you buy stuff. I'm Kyle with Awesome Sauce Network. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see y'all in the next video.